weekly stream here. It's actually 6 days a week, which is far from weekly. Anyway, it's Monday. It's the beginning of a new week, is what I'm trying to say. Welcome to our Monday stream, guys. We're playing Blitz and Rapid chess. Astrobate is spamming the chat with weird messages, so we know we're in the right place. What's up, guys? We're going to be playing some Blitz and Rapid chess, 5-3 through 7+3 casual. Thanks for the simul yesterday. Lots of interesting games. While I couldn't sleep going to sleep last night, I analyzed a bunch of the games lightly. Taking a look at some of the more interesting games from the simul yesterday. We played 25 boards, lost a couple of them to abandonments, but most of the games went through. I think 2 or 3 of them were cut short by people leaving the games. What's up? So let me get a warm-up game or something of that sort. I'm taking challenges 5-3 through 7+3, but I haven't played since last night. I feel I'm still asleep. Let's see what we got here. Play, create a game. We haven't done a warm-up game in a while. My stream should show up on the lichess. Let me know if it doesn't, because that would be weird. Someone mentioned it wasn't on the list yesterday, but now there's not that many people streaming, so it should definitely go up. All right, so what am I doing here? This isn't what I want to do. I want to go to the lobby, play a random challenger. Got a challenge from someone. Yeah, that's working. That's good. Let's try this 5-0 casual. Try to improve our Kali system. We failed against this is last week. I played a Kali, which was crap. I played Bishop D3 in the game last week. Knight C6, threatening E5. Bishop D6 followed by E5, perhaps. Interesting approach. B3, Knight B4. I don't really like that, to be honest with you. I can't imagine there's anything wrong with C4, though, although he still has Knight B4 there. What is this guy doing? Psychopath. It's a psychopath. 1500, you're taking 10 seconds against the International Master for like 10 moves, a second a move. And people are cocky. It's unbelievable. Knight B4 might be a good move. Queen takes. He had an interesting move there. Queen takes D5, but was just moving too fast to even consider it. This is like a disease, man. Everybody's got the disease. Astrobate has it as well. Just playing too fast. He's the one that challenged 5+0. Why is he playing like it's a 2-0 game? I don't understand, man. Why is everybody too fast? All right. Troll in a roll, welcome. Where's the chess 960 challenge? He's going to have Bishop G4. That's going to get annoying. Let's not do that. This is just horrible for black. 2 levels. My name is Luca. I live on the 2nd floor. This is the 2nd floor up here. This is the 1st floor. This is the ground level. But seriously, I just don't understand. This poor guy wasting his time. If he would just use time and think a little bit, he would make better moves. No, you're not going to get a take back. Why do you deserve a take back? For having no respect for your opponent and playing too fast. Now he's going to like He's going to abandon the game and like leave me sitting here for 3 minutes. See, you got what you deserved. What's up, guys? Osmir's trolling a roll. I like how you move too fast and then you ask for a take back. You need to learn your lesson. Maybe you'll take your time next time. I didn't decline his take back, I guess. He's waiting for me to accept his take back. My bad. No take back. Sorry, I didn't mean to slow roll you on the take back. I thought I had already pressed it. It's like when I try to send friends stuff on. I try to send friends stuff on Skype and I forget to press the send button. Then like a couple hours later, you're like, "Did you get my message? Did you get the photo I sent you?" Like, what photo? Oh, I forgot to press the send button. That's brilliant. Anyway, I just wanted to play a game here to get warmed up, but this was kind of messed up, waste of time. Primarily because this opponent decides they don't want to take chess seriously. Failure to take chess seriously. You are guilty. All right, they'd probably be like 18 or 1900 if they would take chess seriously. Imre Bardi, the troll in a roll, Asmir's, Slow Hands, and Mertesacker. So subscribers go first. Warnaki, thanks for resubscribing. He's 12 months. To get some a bandit panda. Bandit. Pandit. A banda? Maybe we could call it a banda. It sort of sounds. Well, banda is a Hungarian word, I guess. All right, I live in Budapest, in case you don't know. That's the relevance of that. Okay, Imre will wait. Troll in a roll. Are you a subscriber? No longer. Osmir is a subscriber, I think. Mr. Snowhand definitely is. Let's play these subscriber guys first. So I feel like playing e4. I get really bogged down in the quiet, closed position. I feel like it's kind of accommodating some air. All right, what's up, everybody? Thanks for resubscribing. Warnaki, I hope you get your money's worth. Maybe Osmir's isn't here. A5, not a good idea. The French defense. This is my new system. Okay, this is not a real variation. Very bad opening. Maybe it has a name. It's just a bad Aliakin's defense where you're playing e6 instead of d6. e4, knight f6, e5, knight d5, d4, e6. Failure to put pressure on the white center. The entire idea of hypermodernism is to lure the center forward, then counterattack. Here he's luring my center forward, but his counterattack is looking kind of late. This also blocks the bishop in to some degree here. So now he tries. This reminds me of a game I saw Andy Soltis commentate. He played with black, something similar, against Enmar Mednes once. Got away with it. I'm not sure, though. You know, it's possible that I'm going too far here. Well, probably not too far, just far enough. I can take on c5. The temptation is to play d5, but if I take on c5, he has to play like bishop takes c5. Then maybe I have something. Knight c3, knight e4. That's interesting. Takes, bishop takes, knight c3, threatening knight e4. I guess that's not so bad for black. It's a tough call. I'm not sure. Really not sure. Yes, d6 is critical. Mr. Slowhand, lunchtime. I just had my breakfast. Oh man, don't even talk about it. I had a good breakfast, very healthy. Enough energy for the day. I'm fat enough, I don't need lunch. Okay, a6 is really slow here. It feels suspicious. feels very suspicious to me to take the time to play a6 in this position. But nevertheless, it's not so easy. Going on instincts here. But he's doing the job he's supposed to do. He's trying to counterattack my center, trying to destroy it. Just it doesn't look like a good version. This is definitely suspicious, putting the knight on d7, weakening this square. The 1st of June. It's the 1st of freaking June. I can't believe it. I'm out of here. Help yourself. It's a holiday. Some Catholic holiday. Pentecost or whatever. So I think all the stores here are closed. There's no knight that can get to d4, which is very vital. This knight is bottled up. So all of his pieces are kind of bottled up. He could have played this better. Knight g5 looks pretty strong. However, then knight f6 seems to hold on. There's some funny lines. I guess there's lots of good moves in this position. Even queen c2, something mundane like that. I'm normally not a fan of this alignment with the queen behind the bishop. I'm sure this isn't the best move, but it's viable. I feel like the queen should have stayed on this diagonal. I guess queen e2 instead of queen c2 would have been better. Come to think of it. It's still pretty good. Not optimal. Normally I don't put the queen on this square. I talk about that a lot in the King's Indian, how the queen is better on e7 than c7. The same is the case oftentimes in e4 openings with white. In the queen pawn games, it's not the case. Usually the queen, well, it's hard to say actually. Sometimes the queen is placed better here. In certain queen pawn games, like the Nimzo, Dr. Boom says, "Hey, will you play me?" I just take the challenges as I get them. There's just a few requirements. Basically, you have to have 100 games rated. I ask the challenge be casual. And that's about it. If you get in the list, you have to wait like everybody else. And people who subscribe to my Twitch stream get to play first. So it's a pretty simple system. Yeah, bishop d6. Now this is why my queen would have been better here, for example. Misplaced queen. I don't think it's enough to compensate for black's mistakes, though. You know, that little mistake by me isn't going to save him. Some interesting threats here. Knight h5. Anybody gonna sign up for that move? Yeah, Blavix, there is a sound issue. I've got my inbuilt mic because I've got this very strange problem with my USB mic. I can't figure it out. With the USB mic, when I go to, like, no one's been able to help me troubleshoot this. It's like when I go to my USB mic and I go to volume settings for USB mic, I try to set it up to 100 volume, but it automatically sets itself back to 35. It just whoop, like goes back. I've been fighting this for like 6 days now, and I don't know what it is. And I'm not that expert on like drivers and stuff like that, but I haven't found a single example on Google or anywhere. There is this setting where you can like click some button to so that apps don't take over control of the mic. That doesn't help. Basically, nothing helps. I don't know if it's just something wrong with the drivers with my mic. It's going to take a few more days of troubleshooting to figure it out. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, you'd think if it was something like a Windows thing, or I would see other examples of the thing online where it happened to other people, but there's like nothing. I can't find a single example of this error anywhere. It must not be very common, but it's really annoying because if I turn on the mic, the external mic, I get a really low volume that you can barely even hear me at all, a 35 setting, and then it just goes back to 100. You put it, it just goes back to 35. There's no way I can set the volume higher than the minimum. So I don't know what it is. I mean, if anybody has ever seen anything like that happen with the audio settings or the mic audio, I don't know how to correct it. I just assume there's something wrong with the drivers, I guess. I have to reinstall the drivers. I tried once, it didn't help. Um, but I'm kind of running out of ideas. Knight up d7, so he's got me in this vicious pin here. Bishop h7 check, rook takes d6. I'm rather concerned I'm going to lose a piece pretty quickly. So it looks like I have to play this. This is unbelievable. He's managed to salvage his position and trade off a whole bunch of stuff. That queen move is ridiculous. I can't believe it ruined my whole position just putting my queen on c2. Maybe I had some combination. I guess I could have just played knight d7 here. Yeah, it's still not a big deal though. I probably win an exchange, right? Knight d7, bishop f4, knight f8, bishop h2 check, king h1, followed by king takes f8 or something. But I got distracted talking about the mic. Thanks for pointing out the flaws in our stream, though, Blobix. Way to go. No, I'm just kidding, guys. If you have a solution to my mic issue, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to work on it when I get some time, but I'm not a very good technical troubleshooter. Just came out of nowhere. I can't really figure out what it was. It's been working fine for like the last 2 years or year and a half. I don't know what could have caused it. I just assumed like a Windows update of some sort would mess with stuff. He's lucky he gets to trade all this stuff off. Now white has only a very, very small edge. He handicapped himself hugely in the opening. But sometimes he plays really well. Serious blunder. But how bad is it? Now clear pawn down with bad structure. Rook d8 or something. He doesn't really want to trade pieces here. Rook e6 is tempting. Rook e6, rook f2, h3. Rook f2, rook e7, for example. So h3. I was afraid of rook f2, h3, rook f6, actually. No, I had seen that. And planned to play rook e7. I'm not sure if rook e7 immediately would be better. Guess I just have to do this. Rook 2 pawns in an ending. Cutting it close. You must be pretty new to lichess. If the casual is unknown. So b5, he's getting some counterplay here. That's annoying. That is a really annoying move, dude. Perhaps I should blockade. Why are so many coaches classicists? Well, I never took a survey of chess, quote unquote, chess coaches, honestly. I think that people are generally playing e4 with white more. I guess chess literature leans more that way. Said I was trying to blockade, but this is getting kind of annoying now. All right. He even managed to find a threat here. I mean, I don't know. He defends the pawn down position almost perfectly. Then he pre-moved his intended combination or something. Like he intended to play rook takes c3, rook takes c3, knight e4, and then forgot or something. He pretended like I was allowing this combination. That's weird. Weird blunder. Opening was strange. Very bad for black, of course. But he almost came out of it. I don't know if this is my best move. So I'm saying I think Soltis said like takes on c5. This is the right position though, I can't remember. There's no games with he takes c5. It has to be a slightly different position. So most people played what I played, but it's not necessarily the best move. That's interesting. The computer says this is very strong. Bostic played this back in 1999 against his friend Andrei Zaremba. Bishop e7, bishop e7, queen e7, knight c3, cd4, knight b5. Not sure if that's necessary. Ninja thinks it's the best move, though. One of the best moves. Interesting. I don't know. My d5 move, and then d6 is best. Janza against Kantorek. Played that Kantorek guy. The Battle of the Czech Seniors. So it's funny that I only have a tiny advantage here after d5. Alright, I've got challenges from shoulder roll, slow hand. Alright, Sidon, I don't understand why you challenged me to rated. I post there very clearly, guys. 5+3 through 7+3 casual. I don't know. I can't make it any clearer. What is that? Is there some sort of error in the chat? Maybe I'm missing some of the chat. Twitch is really slow to load for me. Maybe they're overloaded. Maybe Twitch needs more reinvestment. They're making tons of money, especially during this pandemic with more and more people online. But I think they need to put a little more money into their infrastructure. It's like, what is happening there? Problem with big companies, lack of reinvestment. All right, so Mr. Slow is up next. This guy is a regular contributor to our stream, and we appreciate it. But Twitch is really slow. Mr. Slow isn't really slow, by the way. All right, e4. I'm not going to let him play the King's Indian anymore. The French is nearly as bad. I don't want to be too predictable. If I start playing the same thing again and again, people start preparing for me. So I don't want to do that. Twitch has how many people on their site? Seriously? Imagine how many people are on. I mean, they're just single streamers with like 30,000 viewers for just one stream. And you got all those streams. I really don't play the Tarish a lot, so it's just weird. I don't feel at home, especially this line. I don't face that line very much. It is like one of Black's most common lines, but for some reason, when I'm playing the Tarish, I don't get this very often. I mean, this is what John Watson recommended for Black in his classic book, Play the French. I think one of Black's best lines. There are some people who are playing Queen d7, Friedman, Daniel, for example. Let's get castled. Knight f6 rather than knight c6. What's the difference, really? I like this line for white. I suppose white can do something crazy like queen e2, followed by rook d1. Warnaki, thanks, man. The right foot or the left foot? Just wondering if I can play queen e2, followed by rook d1. If queen e2, well, you can play e5, but f7 gets weak. I just don't know the theory here. If queen e2, bishop e7, Black is really threatening to keep the pawn. So I don't know any other lines well enough here. I have almost no experience other than watching other people play this line. I probably have almost no games having played this. I never played the Tarash in a tournament, but it's so so popular. I mean, you just play chess and then you see, tons of good players. Not sure if A4 is right. Not the main line, probably, but it looks reasonable. I just thought, well, there's an outside chance my rook can activate somehow later on, though maybe not realistic. This bishop controlling A3. But I do slow down B5. Ultimately, White's plan will incorporate the majority of pawns on the queen side, so A4 should be okay. It would likely transpose. I know that the black will play for B5 sometimes. This is a normal move. Another possibility is queen F3, I think. But he knows the theory better than me, I assume. I don't play E4 that much. And this guy plays only this defense. I mean, he's specializing in the black side of the French. So if you play the black side, you have to know it probably better than the average bear knows it with white. I don't know. I think we're still in book, but A4 may not be the main line. Guys, submit games for Thursday. We're going to have a short Thursday, probably, by the way. I'll do just half as many games as Thursday because some Hungarians have formed a group. This Thursday, they formed a group of Hungarian players that they're having a tournament on Thursday night. And I think what we'll do is like a kind of mix of analysis. And I'm going to stream that tournament, which is like 2 hours. So probably starting at 8, we can do like an hour and a half of game analysis, and then I'll stream the tournament for like 2 hours or something. Might be up for a 3.5 hour stream or something this week on Thursday. We still accept game submissions for Thursday. I can't remember if we already had one. I think I have one. Thursday night game analysis submissions. Maybe we don't have any already. Usually I'll get one early, like Mr. Slow to be the first one, but I don't see it. Be the first one. Well, for people that are subscribed by Twitch, they just send games to my account here. So E5 now. Rook E1. %99 of tactics don't work. Troublemaker. Mr. Slowhands. He's a troublemaker with E5, disturbing the peace of the position. I don't know. I didn't like knight F3. I guess it's okay. Other moves feel very passive. Like knight to C2 looks extremely passive. You can play pawn takes knight, queen takes E7, queen E7, rook E7, pawn takes E3. But I've got a rook on the 7th there. Doesn't look pleasant. We're not okay. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the first game for this week, and we'll probably just get to do like 5, maybe just 5 games this week. I promised my friends from Hungarian All-Stars that I would stream the tournament we're playing on Thursday. I think it's from 8 to 10, something like that. There's some good players in our Hungarian All-Stars group. All right, rookie 1. Where is he? He's usually quite quick. That's Thursday night, guys, at 6:30. Usually I do a 2.5 hour stream of game analysis. I think we'll do an hour and a half this week. I still have to confirm that tournament. Okay, E4. The classic fishing pole attack over there. Pretty simplistic maneuver. Not that easy to defend against. It's the move. Why don't I play bishop g5? Trying to grab a pawn. No, that simply defends the pawn. Nice. That was the air going out of that position that you just heard. The first strange move he's made. Gladly take that. Still, it's no big problem for black immediately here. Bishop takes rook d5, maybe. I don't really want to give up my dark square bishop for nothing. And now I'm going to lose on time. Here we go. This is what happens every time I play him. It's like freaking genius. He resigned? He actually timed out. White doesn't have that much of an advantage. I mean, the extra pawn. Am I just going to take a second pawn on b7? I was really scared off-color bishops would make it unclear. I guess we're winning. Not that simple, though. What about this b7 pawn? So if, for example, queen e5, bishop takes b7, I'm just up like 2 or 3 pawns, probably winning. The computer finds this move with the threat of queen b6. See, that's the kind of tricky move that could cause some problems. Not that easy for me to win. I'm surprised he lost on time. But in the opening, I doubt a4 is the main move. It's very rare. Rook e1 as usual. See, I don't remember the theory that well. If b5, I guess I have queen f3, so this isn't really a possibility. I haven't looked at this in a while. I'll be right back, guys. 1 minute. I'll be right back. We're back, guys. So, sorry for the disruption. Any challenges here in Blitz and Rapid? 5-3 through 7+3, casual, subscribers first. So anybody else who's a subscriber, sit on. Are you still a subscriber? You were as of yesterday, I think. He was gifted a sub. Let me know if anybody else is a gift sub that I'm not aware of. We had 5 gift subs. I'm looking outside because of the ambulance now. I had to help my son with something. Run downstairs. So, all right, 25 viewers. I'm white. Let's play e4. Family first. Come on with the French defense, dude. I don't want people to play the French defense. Are you kidding me? Is every game going to be... I'm going to stop playing e4 if you guys are going to do this. Is that what you want? I'm going to stop playing e4. I'm threatening you. Seriously. If you keep playing the French defense against me. Boring. I don't really know this variation very well, but I've started playing it with white just to avoid closed positions. It doesn't promise much, theoretically, but at least we don't get into kind of blocked, annoying, closed games in Blitz, which I hate. Strategic closed positions are difficult to play, and I feel like I need, like an hour to figure it out. I mean, open games are much more natural, I think. Anyways, knight c3, knight c5, bishop c4. Sure, I really want to do that. Do you really want to do that? I mean, just d4 is fine. There's no way I'm going to hold a pawn on d5, and I'm not interested in trying to hang on to some sort of pawn. Maybe like bishop e5 check. Is that a variation? You can do similar stuff in the Caro-Kann. I would imagine this would be playable, but kind of... Well, we'll look at it after the game. I want to check bishop e5 check. Check the check. Is that actually a move? Interesting question. No French defense. Nothing against the French. Blabix was here. He seems to be gone. He's not challenging me today. Nothing against the French personally. Does anybody know why the French defense is called the French defense? Because I never thought about that. Something to do with like some famous French player, I assume. Philidor played the French. Philidor played the Philidor. Why is the French defense called the French defense? They have to live with that connotation for the rest of their lives. Played in the correspondence game, England versus France? Really? That would have to be a fairly modern naming. The 19th century. Must be early 19th century. Bishop f5. Wow. Feels wrong. This is starting to remind me of like the Marshall defense or something. Bishop f5 played at such an early juncture. You're asking for queen f3. Begging for it, in fact. Like, please get me with queen f3. Queen f3, knight b4, queen f5, knight c2 check. Queen c2. What am I talking about? Queen f3, knight b4, queen f5. Yeah. Queen f3. Let's do it. Of course, it takes away my best square for my knight. But it's thematic idea. But I can play bishop e6, then what? I'm not sure this is a good move or not. I mean, it might be best to just play the obvious, like knight f3. But then, like, seriously, knight b4, and I don't know. It's not a joke. I mean, knight c2 is check. It's a serious problem. You could also play lame moves like bishop d3, for example. I'm trying to refute knight f5 here. I mean, bishop whatever. Bishop f5. Blobix. Yeah, just lost a piece. His best move is to go back with bishop e6. And then we have to decide if my queen on f3 is a good thing or a bad thing here. I was looking at bishop c4, knight b4 now. This is a complicated line. Now you have d5, you allow knight c2 check. Place the king on f1. This is such a crushing threat here. There's no time to take the rook on a1. That's just vicious. So probably not like knight b4, right? We would have to play knight b4. No, another move. It looks like a normal position. Something like this. Here. Can I go here? That's a blunder. So what does white do? Yeah, already there's a problem. White can't make a natural move in this position. It's funny. Like bishop f5, there's no moves where this is. I mean, no games where this has ever been played. Oddly. But I probably am being too experimental by calling queen f3. I should just develop normally. If knight b4, man, that's funny. Bishop e5 checks, c6, not really what I want in this position. What is the deal with this? You actually invented a new variation. Of course, this move order isn't commonly encountered. I don't know why, though. Here. Bishop e5 check is the most common move, but I'm not sure it's even good. So more questions than answers here. Like this move intuitively I don't want to play. I could even play c6, I would imagine. I mean, you could just sack a pawn. But, interesting, Bashir versus Caruana. Bashir has a couple games here. Bashir. He's got 4 games. He's an expert. I see it's the French beating the French. Civil War, Blobix. I don't know. There's more questions than answers. Okay, let's take some more challenges. No rated. Rated is gone. Merit to Sacker. Why are you challenging me to 4+2? No, I'm not going to let it slide anymore. The weird time control challenges. Control and roll. Am I imposing on you? You're going to play a simul. Control's going to play a simul. What's up, Jim? I took a look at our game from yesterday. It wasn't that bad. Your PSAC seems reasonable, but what do you think, man? You shouldn't necessarily have to sacrifice a piece. After, I guess Queen B3 is not the best, huh? But after Queen B3, Knight A5, maybe you just play Queen B4. Give up the bishop. Even the piece sacrifice seems almost reasonable. But what do you think about that? You just play Knight A5, Queen B4. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm talking about a game from yesterday that nobody has a clue. Except for Jim, what I'm talking about. So what, you give up your bishop, but you gained all this time, you have compensation. I think you should just play Queen B4, Knight C4, Queen C4, and wait as compensation. That's one way to do it. Alright, E4, E5, classical. I never answered your question earlier about why so many chess teachers are classicists. Well, I mean, I think that's what's been handed down to us by chess literature over the years. And so a lot of people who are teaching chess relying on classic books that have been, proponents of kind of a classical strategy. But if you look at different things, I mean, like Nimzovich was revolutionary. Would you call Nimzovich like a classicist? No. I'm kind of a Nimzovichian player, I think. Does that make me a classicist? No. But on the other hand, I mean, Nimzovich played like E4 with white and a lot of E4, E5 with black. But I think he was experimenting with hypermodernism, particularly with D4, Knight F6, and the Nimzo-Indian. What am I doing here? Once I suggested the idea of doing a stream where I play classical openings, and it was like, immediately people were like, boring, that sucks, But for me, it's almost like refreshing, because I'd never played a lot of classical stuff. I've always had this kind of feeling like I missed out on something, and I should go back and really learn classical openings. Did I put my knight on the wrong square? Steinitzian principles, the strong point on E5. Focus on classical openings and pawn structures that lead to freaking tactics. So, I don't know about that. And I've always been kind of against the whole open games, closed games kind of thing, where E4 is the open games and D4 is the closed games. Like, look at my game with Ayeste yesterday in the Botvinnik variation of the semi-Slav. It's like a wild open position. It's a D4 game. Damn, I could get. Where's my king on F8? What is my king doing on F8? Maybe it's better on F8 than like H8. We can castle. You gotta love castling here. I never read my system. I never owned it. But I extrapolate a lot of the principles of it from other books. Nimzovich had a huge effect on chess, of course. So all of his principles have been absorbed into newer, influenced future generations like me, various ways. Yes, Jim. H6 is a move in our game yesterday that violates some sort of fundamental principles in some sense. But it's a concrete idea for a concrete position. Not the safest system for black against the moral gambit. Hydrochloroquine system. Chloroquine or chloroquine? I think I'm mispronouncing that. Nice coordination by trolling a roll here, by the way. What is my bishop on A8? This is a disaster. Probably I should have put this knight over on E7, and I'm already in serious trouble because he can't get out. I had a very stupid idea of maneuvering into D7. Just moronic. It's too slow. I should have just put it on E7 to begin with. I like sort of saying the same thing over and over again to emphasize what I'm talking about. Fill in the time. The guy plays Grandmaster level in Chess 960. Yet his rating just keeps going down. Now you're down to 1466. Really? You're lower in Chess 960 than in other forms of chess? Is that possible, Master? Troll, you're going to have to raise your rating up or I'm going to stop. We're going to have to report you to lichess for being a sandbagger. I mean, I can't just with a clear conscience sit here and admit that Troll in a Roll is a 1466 player. I guess if you lose like every game on time, it's possible you're 1466. But it seems like there would be too many games where your opponents were just too weak and you didn't manage to lose on time. Theoretically, I think it's all connected to doping. He's doing too much chess doping. What am I going to do? Knight D4? This bishop is sick, man. One mistake and I'm just completely toasted. This move. Poof, my whole position is screwed. I didn't like knight e7 because it felt like it a little bit gets in the way of my rook, but it's way, way better than what I did. I mean, 100 times better. I just don't play much chess 960. It's alien. Alien to me here. Sucks. This bishop is just non-existent. And the knight's in the way of the pawn. It's going to take me a million moves to even get it in the game. And the check. If knight h6 check, king g7, bishop takes d4 check, king h6, g4. My question is, can I afford to allow knight h6, I guess? Can I play f5, for example? I'm nearly lost here. It's like one of my games with this Save-A-Dog character, where every game now he has f5 and control of the d5 square. Yesterday I faced f6, bishop f8, where my pieces were just shut down and I had no space. Same thing here, close Sicilian f5. I mean, Troll is 1466, but then I'm 2900, you know. It's ridiculous. You should be ashamed of your rating manipulation. He's just under the radar, flying under the radar. Nobody cares. He's rating manipulating at 1466. He doesn't get any complaints for that. He's not a computer. Nobody's gonna like report him for being 1466 instead of 2000, just 960. But that's really ridiculous, dude. Is Bob okay? No, he was never okay. Are you his alter ego by any chance? No. Lemonade Master is too strong to be Bob. Too advanced in like bullet fast chess. Bob has talent, but he's not fast. Okay, so F5, we can do it. Let's do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it before it's too late. All right, I mean, Troll's got to play F5 here. He's got to play F5, and Black's position is a wreckage. I probably have to play knight d7 and pray that White doesn't play good moves. That's about all I can do. Bob stopped by a lot lately, but he never stays for the stream. He's got better things to do, and I'm glad, you know. Trolling Twitch channels for your primary activity in life is not really a healthy thing to do. So for his sake, I think we're all happy that he found something else. Pawn structure, not great structurally, but my pawn on d4 is influential. What I lack in structure, I make up for in like central presence here. Bishop on a8 can't get in, but it's got to get in the game eventually. So slowly but surely, the turtle will get in. No, 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 no. You must not harm my precious. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do about it? At some point we'll have to play. Well, some point we'll have to play c5, I guess. That's all there is to it. I thought he was going to take with a knight on e1 to try to establish a knight on f3. Where would you get that idea? Now he's even fast, too. It's enough of this 1400 thing, dude. I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm just going to resign. Never mind. I think I was even losing. I think I'm actually lost at some point solidly there. I mean, the opening was bad, I accept that, but then, like, he's super fast and strong, and then he started to lose it, but I think I was lost. 1400. It's ridiculous. And his best game, you know, I could understand if it was like 1400 in like bullet or something, normal chess, but all he plays is chess 960. He's especially like master level in the openings there. How could he possibly be 1400? I mean, that's ridiculous. Look at this. I'm like lost after f5 in 10 moves. Basically lost in 10 moves if he plays f5 here. I don't know if I have some miraculous. This is horrible for black. Computer thinks it's defensible. It's an awful position for black. He has a huge advantage. +2. I thought I was lost at the end, but apparently it's only a draw here. I thought I was getting mated by like knight g5. He has perpetual. Queen c8. I was going to resign because I thought I was getting mated, probably. It's only draw by repetition. Queen c8. I can't go to f7. Queen c8, king e7. Queen c7, king e8. I was actually worried about losing my g7 bishop, but that's okay. So there's a draw here, and at least. I can't go to f7, getting mated. That's why I said I'm going to resign. King e7, queen c7, I have to play this any other way, like here. Here I'm losing. Horrible. I don't like this chess 960. Okay, so Sinan already played you, but I will take a second game if there's no other players. I know it was a short game. Hanischberger doesn't have 100 games. I do ask that accounts be established. Duviel is actually in the chat. 1847. Why is there no players who have established accounts? Why am I only getting challenged by people who just made brand new accounts? Okay, Meredith Sacker. I like how all the people who show up here, they're on like their 17th account. Every day they make a new account on lichess. I only want to play with established accounts, not people who create new accounts every day. Not interesting. Let's try something like a mainline. This is too closed already. Okay, yuck. What is this? Okay, he plays really bizarre openings. The opening is the opening. Chess960 has openings too. You can be expert in it. Take back, where did you disappear to during our simul yesterday? What happened? We lost you after 3 moves. 2 moves? That sucks. No, I think that Troll particularly sandbags his rating. Losing ridiculous amounts of games on time. But it's embarrassing when I'm getting outplayed by 1400s. Just not thinking about my image. But these guys who are just creating accounts like you've got 10 games. I mean, did you just find lichess today by coincidence? Or you opened your 18th account because your other 17 were banned? That's my concern. Alright, I had like the exact same position in a game on my phone the other day. It's funny. Once in a while I'll play, unless it was you. We didn't play a game online, like we didn't play a game on the stream. Maybe we did, actually. Did we play a game against Mertesacker? Maybe it was on my stream. Something very similar, I believe. Maybe Friday? I grabbed the bishop pair. I'm not sure about which way to recapture on d4. Is this like... This isn't good for black, dude. A little like a kind of messed up Slav. Aspie, you need more love for your pawns, definitely. You know what it was, Mertesacker? It was against another player, wasn't it? Wasn't it against James 2 weeks ago? Jim, you don't get automatically flagged for rating manipulation when you lose like 100 points in bullet. That's what happens when we're WA. I don't understand that. They flagged him for rating manipulation because he lost 95 points in bullet chess. Is that just some rogue administrator or some sort of automated program they have that flags your account when your rating changes by like 100 points? This is serious, dude. Nobody's corrected it. I don't think he's still flagged. No one would help him when he asked for help. And I don't know anybody that will. You have to write an email to lichess. They didn't respond. But they flagged his account for rating manipulation because his rating went like up and down by 100 points in bullet. That's... Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Specifically in bullet, where it's like your variance is massively high. Why would that happen? I think it was just some kind of rogue admin or something. I don't get it. But the sick part is there's so many people on lichess that the administrators don't have time to respond to. They don't have time to respond to people that are trying to appeal their accounts getting banned. It's really not a good situation. If you're going to make comments in the channel, maybe you should understand what I'm talking about before saying stupid shit. Try to understand the context of what I'm talking about. All right, anyway. Not interested in playing that guy anymore. He's making very, very rude comments in the chat that are inappropriate. If you're going to behave like that, please don't come to my stream. We'll play another game with sit-on. Nobody's talking about Super Sebi Acerbate. And I don't appreciate his stupid comments in the stream. But you're making the confusion worse because it had nothing to do with him. We're not even talking about anybody. I'm trying to help my friend whose account got moderated for rating manipulation. What is he talking about here? What was the guy talking about? Seriously. I have no clue, but I really don't need that. But you also need to follow the context of the conversation a little bit better. I'm not sure what you're talking about. It's like, what is the guy talking about? Jim and I know what we're talking about, but the rest of you, I don't know, the last guy and Acerbate, I don't know what you're talking about. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying or something. We're taking challenges in 5+3 through 7+3. But I don't need the guy like trolling me because he misunderstands my conversation. All right, so C5, C4. This is a new one. Yeah, I don't know. Jim, check Morwa's account. Can you explain to me? Can you explain to me how he can be banned for, not banned, but how he can be flagged for rating manipulation? It's like, what did he do? And then you appeal to lichess and they don't answer. So this is like a 14-year-old kid who played like 16,000 games on lichess or something. I don't know, or thousands of games on lichess. And they just like ban his account and he asks them why, and it's like no reason. Not for cheating, because he rating manipulated. What? There was like no justification to it. Acerbate, why are you contributing to the false narrative that doesn't exist? We never talked about Super Sebi. He started like spouting some sort of weird misunderstanding, so I timed him out in the chat. But nothing regarding him happened ever, you know, and you're just like contributing to the confusion. I just resigned against him because I didn't appreciate these weird comments in my channel. But there's no scandal or anything like that. There's nothing to talk about, nothing to see here. Just some sort of strange misinterpretation. But don't make it worse by continuing to confuse people. So, all right. We're talking about Morwa, not Morales. but you're close. Ask her, maybe she gets some sleep. They're both French-sounding names. You think Marwa closed his account? Well, that's ridiculous. Like, the administrators don't answer you when you have a legitimate problem. His account was flagged for no reason, and I don't have any context to pull any strings to help him. So, yeah, of course he closed it, but he was frustrated by having those, on a big red block that says this account uses rating manipulation on his account. I mean, I would close my account too. It makes you look like a cheater for no reason. It's totally unfair. He didn't do anything wrong, and they didn't even respond to him or said like, oh, sorry, that's the way it is. There's no justice here. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect. Like chess.com is 10 times worse, riddled with cheaters. It's a horrible site. I like lichess, but still, they have to do a little bit better of a job, like responding to people who have legitimate appeals against this. The system for banning people or flagging their accounts. I mean, there are false positives. They're going to have to respond at least. It's ridiculous, Just not enough like administrators and stuff to run a chess site with this many players. It's physically impossible. They're trying, but I guess that's the problem, But I'm just saying, like, is there some sort of automated thing that would have flagged him? Does that even seem possible? They have an automated system? Like, you've never been flagged for rating manipulation, even though your rating goes up and down by like 100 points every day. So that theory kind of goes out the window. Mr. Coffee says, yes, it was probably automatic. But then why, like Jim, every day his bullet rating goes up and down by 100 points? That doesn't really add up, I mean, to me, I don't know. I don't really believe that. Like, what other factors are there with rating manipulation? Maybe a glitch, but that's like, sad. I think a really good kid who maybe will get turned off to playing because of lichess doing that to him, It's stupid. But there's no one you can appeal to. That's the problem. It's a little bit too much anarchy here at lichess. Maybe there'll be some Antifa protests soon. But I guess I still like it better than any other chess site. Nothing's going to be perfect. If you make it commercial and you start bringing in a lot of administrators, then you're going to be back to chess.com. Start turning it into a big business or something. That's even worse. White's played this really well. I'm beginning to get concerned about my position. They were really salty about creating a Swiss system tournaments. You can read in the Duvall he hated having to do that. He felt like he was forced by the masses, but he was totally protesting. It feels like lichess is grown like out of control, beyond itself. Maybe the last move, he should just take the pawn on b5. Obviously, cb, ab, bishop takes b5. Village Lord, I just don't like people saying stuff like this in my stream, okay? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with asking me or Bob, and I don't know what you're talking about, okay? So please don't get involved. I'm just not in a good mood right now. The situation with Super Sebi now has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with, it's just like trolling my chat, starting to make weird implications about how you like me to talk or don't like me to talk or whatever. You know, the fact of the matter is Super Sebi didn't do anything suspicious. I wasn't even talking about him, but he's starting to distract from my chat. He's acting like belligerent. I don't want to hear about it. I'm not in the mood. You know, I'm just going to ban him. He's not permanently banned, but I don't want to talk about it anymore. So I tried timing him out. He came back immediately again. So I'm banning him now. You know, the next step will be to like permanently ban him. I don't want to hear about it. The next thing is, you know, you're just a different case. It has nothing to do with Bob. What does Bob have to do with this? And you guys, like, you're just whatever. Now everybody thinks I'm accusing people of being cheaters, which is like, see what Super Sebi did? He created this like dynamic where there's this like fake news going around. He made the conversation about him. It had nothing to do with him because he wants to vent that for some reason. Yes, Super Sebi, you do have a very strange style. You play very, very strangely, extremely strange, but that's not to do with the stream. It's like just a fact, you know. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about something completely else. But people like Asterbate, they start to get under the impression that there's some sort of scandal going on. There's not. For some reason, Super Sebi just wanted to vent that I always talk about his strange style. Should I like share some of the games that you've played, Super Sebi? Like the time you lost in 9 moves with White, where you played like some insanely impossibly strange moves. I mean, and you come to me and you say that's normal. The game basically looked like you lost by force in 7 moves or something with White. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like you're trolling me with your play almost. But this wasn't even in the conversation. I'm trying to talk about someone who got their account labeled for rating manipulation. What did that have to do with you, you know? Changing the narrative of the stream to be about you randomly in that moment. What do you think about WCN? WCN? What's that? Crazy Night 7-6. The defunct WCN, as in like the chess site that's been defunct for 20 years. That was a good concept. It was backed by Dado Tan. They had money and it was just wasted by these like idiotic guys. It was before its time. It could have been successful. Bad management. I was part of it, but the Canadian guys who were running it screwed it up. But I got out before the end. Like at one point they stopped scheduling me. They were acting like they were kind of favoring certain people. I got kind of turned off. It felt like it was just like being poorly managed. They even had like stock options and stuff. It looked like it was going to be kind of a good site. I worked on there for five or 6 years. I don't know however long it existed. But then it started getting, I felt like just mismanaged. Maybe the whole stock options were like a fraud too. I don't know. But They were telling me like I would have stock options in the company. But then it went out of business, so I guess that's irrelevant. It was backed by like this like mega millionaire, Dad of Tan, who was a huge chess sponsor. But I felt like they just wasted it. There were some Canadian guys involved in running the company. I don't really get that though. It's like the money was coming from Dad of Tan, but the Canadian guys were running it. Well, I don't know what we're talking about. You can play chess in Washington Square Park, and the police can say it's gambling if you're playing for money, but there are legal. Even like playing money for money in the park is not illegal, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think that online chess is likely to be like illegal or something. Um, that's weird. It depends on what country you're opening a chess site and what you're doing. I see a lot of people trying to like run tournaments online, where they're like trying to run tournaments now. By the way, like taking people's PayPal donations, putting them in a pool, and then organizing a tournament and handing out prizes. Now, speaking of something that's illegal, that's almost certainly illegal, you know, um, depending on like, what country you live in. We'll have to ask Mr. Coffee what he thinks as a tournament director. But, I mean, it almost sounds like a lottery or something. You're creating like, I have high confidence that it's probably not legal to like take PayPal donations, put them together, and hand out prizes like it's a tournament or something. You'd have to pay taxes at the very least, um, on that kind of thing. But it goes more to the point of um, online chess, is impossible anyway. Can you imagine trying to run an online chess tournament and then when it's done, you hand out the prizes and people start saying, "Oh, what about this guy? This guy cheated. That guy cheated. I want my money back." It's like forget about it. I I just random people on lichess saying they're going to run tournaments and stuff. I'm not getting involved in playing in chess tournaments online for money ever. Same exact game as we played a minute ago. Whatever it is, you'd have to be very careful about it legally. You know, you have to like base it on what country you live in, I guess. This is a weird move taking on c5. It seems like d5 is critical, but it looks like Ayesta now realized I was on to his prep. We're getting closer and closer to playing this well. I don't want, you just like get sued by people and stuff. It's a nightmare. I mean, they've been trying to hold online chess tournaments for many years. I mean, this was something that they tried to do on ICC for years. It's always been a headache. Problems with cheating, problems with people trying to sue you. It just opens up all sorts of legal questions. I'm basically talking about the prizes for the most part. Trying to have tournaments with prizes is a legal nightmare. But then I'm talking about issues like computers, and I'm going to go into that. Everyone gets all sensitive. We're not allowed to talk about computer cheating. Even if I don't really talk about it, I get in trouble for even mentioning it. And I'm paranoid that I hurt everyone's feelings. It just seems like the most sensitive subject around here. You're not allowed to talk about people using computers or mention the fact that cheating goes on. Hopefully on the over-the-board chess we'll be back soon, Mr. Coffee. Because it's a very strange world when our only alternative is to play online. Here in Hungary, they're starting the first tournament. I was invited June 14th, I think. June 12th. We'll see what happens. But Hungary is a really, really good prognosis right now at the moment. With Corona, COVID-19. So I don't anticipate any major problems. I was thinking it would be much worse, but it looks like they're going to pull it off. I would think the reopening everything here successfully. Not the case in many places, of course. I mean, you certainly can have over-the-board tournaments in America now, not to mention rioting. But America in chaos. Anyway. I'll just go with b4. He's played this really well. After I thought a kind of not the best line by playing d takes c5, he's reacted well defensively. He's super fast. He won a nice game against me yesterday by leaving the main line of the Botvinnik variation. I got confused and I wasn't sure. We looked at it briefly at the end of the simul yesterday. He left book and I lost my way immediately. It's pretty impressive. Played almost a perfect game, except for that one inaccuracy in the opening. I guess they just get stronger and stronger lately. I hope that I've had a part in that. He's actually up there now. 138 games. It's about half as many as our most prevalent opponent, Nefedov, has. Not Nefedov, Nefedov. Nefedov is slow and steady. He's a turtle. But he's been watching the stream for like 3 years. You were starting to drive through downtown Harrisburg yesterday. You got there and saw the cops out. Yeah, I don't think I want to be in the United States right now. I'm kind of lucky with that, you know. The pandemic is worse. I mean, I had no idea where it would be better to be, like going into this thing, but the United States is... I have some business there, but I don't have to be there, and I'm glad I'm not. It's a disaster area. I'll maybe go back when things have toned down. But I'm curious about online chess coming back, you know. I think in Hungary they'll have this tournament in June, see how that goes. But for the US, I mean, it's obviously going to depend on the location and the laws of that state. Hopefully everything will eventually get back to normal. I know there's a lot of doomsayers who think that life will never get back to normal. I think that's a bit much. The knight on d4 is just a rock. God. You had your car fixed in Mechanicsburg. That's funny. I'm hungry in Hungary. I wonder if Ayesta has a Smurf account. He doesn't seem that his rating doesn't change, but he's playing stronger. Needs some sort of tactic. Maybe e5 at some point. Damn, dude. Just plays like God. So strong, practically. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's believable, but I've just seen his progression. I feel his strength, even though his score isn't that good against me. He's playing better and better. Maybe I have to try harder against him than I used to. So I'm doing okay because I'm trying harder. But I feel like certain players put a lot of pressure on me. He's one of them. Bishop's done now. Is he overextending himself, or I can't do anything. I can't move my pieces here. I don't know what to do. Second time I've tried knight e6. Jeez. So consistent. The coordination of his pieces, 2 bishops, 2 rooks together. He's not afraid to use his pawns. Bishop d5 is an excellent move. Very, very consistent play by white. I just don't know what to do. Extremely systematic. Maybe bishop e8 or something. Rook e8. Rook e8. Try to displace his knight on d4. But I don't like this move, positionally weakening myself. Impressive about white's play here. And like the game I lost to my Samo yesterday against Bardi Imre. Exploiting a space advantage is not that easy, you know. I mean, every time he moves these pawns up, he weakens his king side a little bit. And generally people who aren't masters have a hard time with that, but this shows he understands, you know, the space. Not a concept that lower rated players really excel at usually. And Ayesta is just crushing me spatially now. I'm going to have to come up with something creative. I don't even know what to do anymore. try to create a blockade, maybe. Drastic measures. Well, he blundered, simply. No, it's not even a real blunder. Who would play that move? Bishop e4. Why not bishop d5? Is it a blunder? What a funny idea. Crazy. Is that even a blunder? Bishop e4? Is this even for reals? He didn't play e4 there. If rook g1, the beat goes on. I would say he's nearly master strength. All right. Plus, there's offering a draw. Wait, what? Well, now you're down a pawn, so I'm not going to take a draw, dude. If you had offered a draw when you weren't down a pawn, probably I would have taken a draw. Hyper competitive, can you say? Doesn't want to resign even down a rook. That's pretty tough, man. No, that was a tough game. But I mean, seriously, he offered the draw a little too late. I mean, at that point, he's lost his advantage or whatever. I mean, not here, but whenever it was around here. When he offers me a draw, this is a crazy move, bishop e4. White has a clear advantage. Bishop d5, as I mentioned. I missed this because I'm tied down to f7. That's a great game by White. You know, the way he handled the kingside pawns and just kept his pieces on good squares. It's only after bishop e4 that I have a chance now. I have some sort of engine variation I didn't see with bishop c8, bishop b7, but that's pretty tough in time pressure. And here he has e4, and I have no freaking idea what's happening. I looked at king f8, and I wasn't excited about this. That saves me. King f8, rook g1. Black would have to find perfect defense in this position to hang on. Like, theoretically, I'm okay, but with seconds left, my king almost getting mated. I'm surprised he didn't play e4, just bailed for the endgame. Okay, we haven't seen LVN in a long time. But the reason I declined, I'm not going to take another challenge from Sidan. I already played you, right, twice. I generally don't do even 2 games. LVN, what time is it? LVN is good to see you back. Duviel, the problem was you don't have 100 games. You know, I'll play only accounts with established number of games. BWCS, this is a new guy. That looks okay to me. So LVN and this new opponent. 7 plus 3, 5 plus 3, that's fine. No, I can play, you know. It's mostly in the simul's. I guess I have a problem with people playing bullet chess, you know. I can play one-on-one, you know, especially if I'm not streaming, but I don't mind, you know, playing for time as part of the game in a normal, like, blitz game or something. You know, you don't have to offer draws. I don't offer draws much in blitz, but in the simul's, when I'm playing like 25 people at the same time, and they're all, like, blitzing me, you know, they're all playing bullet at the same time, that's the problem, you know. I just can't handle, like, 25 people playing bullet. It starts to be a problem in the simul's. I don't, you know, I don't mind playing, you know, and you play as fast as you want in a time pressure. I mean, that's normal. When people start the game playing bullet chess, that's stupid, you know. But at the end, when you're in time pressure, you got to do that. And if you win on time or whatever, it's fine. I mean, that's part of the game. I used to play no increment. I mean, that's what I'm used to playing for time. Also, myself, if I have to, you know. I don't care if you play fast. It's a blitz game. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. But so g3. This is a strange line. Feels like I did something wrong. I guess I have to take here. I guess it's still slightly better for white. More complainings. You don't have to watch if you don't want to, you know, or play. I mean, it's up to you. If you don't like my commentary or what I say, feel free not to come. I mean, what should I say? This is like the second person. You know, if you don't appreciate my commentary, you don't have to play, you know. I'm telling you what I believe, that people are playing too much bullet. You're playing too fast in most cases. You'll be better served if you play and you take more time. That's what I believe. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine too, you know. You can believe what you want. I'm trying to help people be stronger players. There's too much bullet going on. Of course, you have to play fast at the end of a blitz game. That's the point, you know. But I can tell you for sure that you'll be a stronger player if you use your time better. Period. Me too. I've got to like play a little bit faster, but I'm out of practice. You know, that's my problem. I was much faster before, but I hardly play, you know, because I'm teaching all the time. You guys think that I'm like a turtle, but actually it's only because I don't play almost at all. I played, you know, I used to play hundreds of blitz games a day when I was in form, so I'm just basically out of practice. I'm not that slow if I actually, you know, get to play some training games on a regular basis, but I don't have much time. So I only end up playing like 10 games a day or something like that, which isn't enough to maintain, you know, to maintain a fast kind of game. Never offer a draw. Never offer a draw. I mean, simul's are a different thing. It's not the same, you know. It's a blitz game or it's a simul. It's a different situation. You got to take that into consideration. I don't think Ayesta understands that there's a difference, you know. Blitz and simul are completely different things. Draw in the simul, it's like, okay, I'm playing 25 people. I'll take it. I don't have much time. It's hard to do that, you know. I don't mind draw offers, but I'm not going to accept, you know, like I do in simuls. And I offer draws sometimes too, if the position is close. But, you know, you have to play fast in a blitz game. Super Sebi was angry earlier, and I had to temporarily ban him because he says that I criticize that he plays strangely. I just tell the truth, you know. I would never lie to you guys. He plays a very strange game. Lemonade Master also plays very strange. That's not the same as saying you're a computer, you know. If I think you're an engine, I'll say I think you're an engine. I'm saying you play a strange game. You're playing a very odd style. Sometimes it feels like people are trolling me by playing weird on purpose. Because I think, you know, some people tend to do that. That's a different thing, though, you know. This is interesting. Black had a pretty good game here. We haven't seen LVN in a long time. I mean, I realize that people are learning chess by just playing online. I mean, it's a very strange thing compared to the way it used to be. The only way it used to be, like, either you go to the Washington Square Park or some park and you learn chess from hustlers by playing blitz, A, or B, you study and you go to tournaments and that's it, you know. There are basically like two ways to probably learn how to play chess. You learn by playing blitz in the park, or you go and you study and you play in tournaments. But now there's like third way of learning to play chess on your own online. And people have the weirdest styles. Sometimes I think, you know, I can't even imagine how they started to play like that. It's funny, you know, it's really strange sometimes. But, you know, saying that you play strangely is not a backhanded way of saying you're an engine. It just means that you do play very, very strange. And sometimes I feel like people are doing it on purpose. Lemonade Master was playing like A5, and I actually, like, you know, in the side, what was it, in our tournament? I'm not gonna, you know, if people play like 1 A5 against me or something, it's an insult. That's another thing. You know, if you're gonna play like really bad openings on purpose and then try to beat someone, it's like you're trying to handicap yourself to kind of troll the other person. It's like giving them odds, basically. If you play bad moves on purpose, like A5 on the first move or whatever, H5 on the first move, King E2, the bomb cloud, and then beat somebody, what you're saying is, I can play bad moves and still beat you. You know, so now you're like rubbing their face in it. That's basically something I won't tolerate. It's funny, it's fun when we're doing Weird Wednesday, we're playing unusual openings or something. But a lot of people don't understand my motivations, you know. Why does it bother me when people play like, you know, A5 or H5 on the first move? I'll just resign. You know, that's something I would do on Rage Tilt if I hated my opponent, you know. B4, yeah, gambits are handicaps, of course. I mean, well, bad ones, you know. If you play the Black Redeemer Gambit, it's kind of a handicap. The Smith Mora is a handicap of sorts. I mean, I used to play, if I would lose like 10 games in a row, I would get steamed and start playing like H4 on the first move, you know. But I would never do that against someone that I respected. That's something I would reserve for, you know, someone who was beating me with like rook versus rook and no pawns, trying to flag me. It's hard to teach chess etiquette to people online. You should do like an etiquette course for YouTube. tough positional battle here. Troll, who's the worst positional player out there? Not you, certainly. You have a good positional sense. Black has everything protected except for c6 here. Fortunately, I want to take on f5, but I had a problem with one variation. Bishop f5, knight e4, queen g6. I don't want to put myself in that pin voluntarily here. This is a really awkward position. Maybe I can play, I don't know. Bishop f2 drops a piece. It's very hard to coordinate my rook. I need my rook here, like on e1. Can I propose you another anti-moral line that got me confused? What's that, Jim? I'll invent a new one for next week. Troll, you're better with white. But you're definitely a positional style player. Though I think that terminology is overused. Too many people with the polarized tactical versus positional. I overuse it as much as anybody, probably. It's just a really simplified way of looking at the game. And you can't really classify. This is kind of weird, but I don't know what to do. I don't want to get pinned. It is a guardian of my king. I felt like the bishop on g2 was a protector, almost like an extra pawn around my king. So this move was a little bit strange for me to play. Intuitively, it's also my good bishop, and technically his bad bishop. But I'm running out of time, and I'm not sure what to do here. Yeah, that's what Blobix recommended. Is Blobix still in the chat? I'll have to take a closer look at that. That's the Blobix variation. Blobix is getting kind of Hannibal Lecter-y. A little bit too much Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal. Bob would start to get suspicious. I know they don't get along. Very different styles. I could go for a cabin in the woods, man. I've never been that lucky. Yeah, the d3 line seems really bad. King Marcher. This has been proven to me. By someone close to the stream. I feel like the Grinch that stole Christmas. That's a weird reference. After talking about Hannibal Lecter and the Grinch that stole Christmas in the same 2-minute sequence. But I have an idea. And the Grinch sort of popped in my head. Wicked, tricky idea. Yeah, I was starting knight f6. It would have been vicious. Mate in 2. Mate in 3 or something. That's just horrible for black. Knight takes. Which is better? It's all good. The master should make you sleep in the car. At least Blauix doesn't have a van. Alright. LVN just fell apart. That was a good tense battle there, until bishop e4. Guys, I only have 20 minutes left. Let me see this position. What is the best move for white? I thought forever here, and I couldn't find a good move. Damn, look at that. Bishop e4 is the only good move for white. The only move that gives white an advantage. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Come up with bishop e4. Okay, it's not that difficult, but when you think about certain strategic principles here, again, my good bishop, a guardian around my king, I made the point. So, alright, so what happened? We lost somebody? No, this was the challenger. Asian Classic. Called him Asian Classic, sorry. Aslan Classic. I need glasses and it looked like an eye. So, BWCS. Italian tournament in Prato. We were out of money and slept in the car during 10 days. Did you use like the Arbakov system? He was a famous hustler from Gorky Park. He would eventually maybe become a GM. I'm not sure if he died an IM or a GM. He was a very, very strong blitz player. Probably Blauix heard of him. He had his own system for long tournaments. He would sleep in like the hotel, like lobby or something, and never change his clothes, and then use his smell as a weapon against unsuspecting opponents. Of course, this is not a new idea. But once he wore the same, I think it was one of those yellow smiley face t-shirts. That was the worst part, because like, if he had like a kind of average plain t-shirt, like you might have not really been sure. But he had this very distinctive yellow, bright yellow t-shirt with a black smiley face on it for like 10 or 12 days in a row. 2 whole tournaments. And never changed his clothes. And I'm almost certain never had a shower. Arbokov. I think he died years ago. I wonder if you can pass away from your own odor. I know that's kind of cruel, but it's a legitimate question. I didn't get to play him, fortunately. Maybe he died of natural causes. But I mean, when you're playing in a it's fine, I guess, if you're just a private citizen, but I think you owe it to your opponents to at least, I don't know, rinse off or something every 7 days. Yeah, the long gray t-shirts, just no one would have suspected anything. But you knew when you saw the smiley face, it just was like he was mocking everybody. That was the worst part. It's almost like he enjoyed it, Like he had to know how bad he smelled. Yet the smiley face t-shirt just kind of made it worse. Okay, this is a good player, 2100. I'm not sure what's up here. 95 is a new move for me. I don't know the system that deeply. E6, knight f4. I guess g5. Jim, does this remind you of anything? Aspate certainly loves to pull the trigger on a g5 now and then. But if this is going to be an issue, then I guess we're going to... Don't try this at home. My bishop is only temporarily misplaced. Basically a sort of a weird form of the hippo or something. The absolute refutation is castles a6. Yeah, I don't think it's a refutation. I like that line. That's what I play. Oh, e6 and a6. Uh-huh. Well, I don't think there is, sadly, a real refutation to the Mora. There's just a lot of different ways Black can get equal or maybe like a tiny advantage. I joke about it being refuted. It's not... I don't think it's really necessarily possible that literally refute it. You visualize that, Astrobay. Maybe good practice for you. Visualize moving your pawns. Visualize more pawn moves. This is a very, very strange setup. I don't normally like to play g5 and not castle. Knight c2, an interesting move. So what? Sure what to make of this. It's one way to play it. It's one way to skin a cat. Mr. Coffee, how many ways are there to skin cats again? I just like teasing Mr. Coffee. I love cats. Cats are cool. I haven't had a cat in a long time, but I'm not sure about this weird position. White principally might be better. But we've created some imbalance. We also have a Discord channel, Pub Sladgie. Feel free to join us there. Guys, next stream tomorrow is Rapid tournament. We'll have a Rapid Ponda Swiss. Ponda Rapid Swiss 2. Tomorrow night at 6:30. You have to join the Ponda Horses Club to be a member. No more troll arenas. Sorry, troll. Okay. Reinforcements have arrived. Want to get the rook off the diagonal. Tricky position. White has a space advantage in the center. Lots of pawns in the center for white here. Little Nimzovich. Nimzovichian principles. Blockading the double pawns. I'm not a classicist. The troll on a roll. Chess 960 arena. Well, I hope my bishop on h3 doesn't get trapped. Where to put the king? Why did I choose this square versus e7? Guys, I have time for one more game after this. One last game for today. Whoever qualifies. I think Aslan doesn't have enough games. Maki Bao has games. That'll be the last game if he's still here. Swiss Ponda. So Jim, I'll have to look into that e5. I know Blavix has suggested it. I mean, it's certainly a viable line, but there's probably like much more analysis on that, I suppose. Well, he made a mistake by exchanging pawns with c5. It's a bad move. I don't know why he lost on time, but I mean, I kind of think he has an okay position here if he doesn't trade queens and keeps his pawns. Peter might favor black and might not. See, his center is something serious. The engine thinks that white is better here. And I don't disagree. I accept whatever judgment Stockfish passes in this position. Kind of a typical Nims, though. He has space, but his double pawns don't have like a very good long-term horizon. I don't know. Maybe white is slightly better here. Because I've weakened my king side a bit, it's a tough call. His exchange on c5 was really bad. Of course, that's a bad idea. Okay, last game for today. This player, Maki Bao. Well, I think my variation would be good to confuse the Mora Gambit player. If it became known, it would probably be a way for white to get something. All right, last game. Are you with us? Are you against us? He's not here after all that. Are you serious? Calculate deeper? What? Oh no. That's not good. 30, 75, 105 games? Who is this? He's 1900 Blitz, but 2278 in Rapid. 2500 in Tactical Puzzles? I don't think so. Nothing personal. Alright, let's play this guy. He looks a little more... not a bullet player, but we'll accept him. The other guy, I don't like to see the 2500 puzzle rating and weird discrepancies. 1900 Blitz, 2300 Rapid is a little strange. All right, please just be here. All right, there he is. So we have not played before. Valb. King's Indian is tough. I hate playing the King's Indian in Blitz because it's usually white getting attacked on the king side in a closed position. Hopefully he plays the Grunfeld. I haven't given him a chance yet, though. Bishop g7, knight c3, maybe. He's from Israel. Mention it because a lot of good players from Israel play the Grunfeld. Of course, Gelfand, Avruk, a bunch of people like Mikhailevsky, others. Of course, the Grunfeld is popular everywhere. It's just, objectively, it's probably better than the King's Indian. I don't like to play this line because it's very theoretical, and I'm 20 years out of date with my knowledge. So anyway, this was good back in 1993 to play this line with white when it was relatively new. I think it was first played in the 80s, but there were very few games. This line with rook b1. So even by the 90s, like, not a lot of people knew the theory very well. But now it's like ridiculous. The theory is like 30 moves deep in every variation, extremely well analyzed. But this isn't a common variation for black. I've never seen knight b4 before, so he actually doesn't know the theory. I have to at least consider going crazy here with queen h6 and trying to checkmate him directly. Queen h6, f6, only move h4. I don't think I have to do that. Like, probably just castling is reasonable. Of course, there's also a3. Why don't I play a3 first? Send his knight back to a bad square. I guess it's not that bad. I mean, you get back in the game. Now queen h6, queen a5 check. And you could play like queen c3. I could play bishop takes a6, very strange move. Bishop a6. I'm just gonna castle. I don't know. Should I go h4 maybe? DK guy yesterday played an h4 attack against me in a Queen's Indian, which was very successful. But I just don't know if I have enough here to launch like a really primitive attack. Realistically, I have compensation for the sacrificed pawn without going crazy, I guess. I hope. You could just play it as a long-term pawn sacrifice. Now, what is he going to do on queen h6? Not a lot of choices, really. Even e5 is interesting here. b6, just guarding c5. Really not sure. White has to have a good game, no matter what I do. Compensation. See, here I wonder if I misplaced the wrong rook. If I placed the wrong rook on d1. If I misplaced my rook. Have you seen my rook? I don't know about this. Maybe there was a better way to prepare this. Almost certainly there was a better way to do this. But I did the lazy move. I get a pawn to the 7th, but it's not automatically winning by any stretch. Herd immunity to pass pawns. I guess he doesn't have to take either. He could move his knight directly. I was just assuming he would take, but I mean, maybe he can play knight e6 here. Guys, I have to go. Tomorrow night we're hosting a Blitz tournament. Excuse me, Rapid here. Lichess, 6:30. I guess I misplayed this. Do the best we can. As I said, I think I pushed the pawn a little too quickly there. Rook b8. This is forced, I think. Of course. It's not the first Grunfeld exchange sacrifice. It won't be the last. Oh no. He's on my H pawn. I don't know, guys. Every time I think I have it under control, I start having doubts again. Now I'm just lost. Just hung my pawn. Just hanging the e5 pawn, but I was running out of things to do, objectively. He just blundered. Man, it was better for black. You're just winning, probably. Here you should be winning somehow. Not easy to win. Not easy, you know, but it should be winning. It's funny that he doesn't have a way to protect a6. What else can he do? Queen e5, h6 check, king g8, queen a6, queen c5, queen a6. Oh, he can force a trade of queens with queen b6. It's over. That's just over. I'm just lost. That's totally... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he didn't know the line. That's funny. Almost everybody knows this variation. This is dangerous, but it's the best move. Korchnoi has an old game with white. Maybe he was black, actually. Stoll versus Korchnoi. Victor must have been white. And I gotta go. But I've also seen knight d4, which sucks for black. Black's just worse. But this I've never seen in my life. It's weird. a3, knight a6, and I don't know what to do. So it's knight a6 and a3 instead of knight a5. But this additional check here. h4, bishop g4, I guess. You could also play f6, like the engine's talking about. If h5, g5. It's not easy for black to defend, but I totally messed it up. Knight a6 castles, b6, rook fd1, king g7, e5, knight c7. This is probably a mistake now. He did well not to take, though. I would push the pawn to d7. Though he could even do that. This was well played. And now I'm actually in trouble. I think after the initial exchange sacrifice, though, white has enough compensation at this point. I really thought that I wouldn't necessarily lose here. But it is a little hard to deal with his pawns. Anyway, guys, good game. I gotta go. Tournament tomorrow night, 6:30 CEST. I'll see you guys then. Thanks everybody for playing, trolling me and whatnot. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, guys. You look ridiculous. Hey, be good. Banda. The Pondit. I'm the Pondit. Bye-bye.